So I know that you both used to be polygamous, but now are no longer are. As somebody that's currently struggling with the question around this topic, I was wondering if you could touch on why you changed your personal views on polyamory for you and what your reasoning was behind your current stance.
Well, here were my views growing up. Unquestioning monogamy is the only way to do things for the first 24 years of my life. And then everything in my life was like, do I have to have this job? Do I have to do this? Do I need to live in America? And it was like all the old rules can be tossed out because they make no sense and were invented by dumb, boring, old people. All right? And so I was like, I can do whatever, and it was fucking awesome. Like I moved abroad, dated multiple people, like did everything as differently as I thought I could.
Walked on my hands.
Walked on my hands down the street because why not?
Wore my underwear over my pants. I did it all, baby.
I did it all. And then what I experienced was one, this is the thing. Monogamy is oftentimes easy in those initial phases and then can over time sometimes get more and more difficult. Polygamy was difficult in the initial phases in the sense that you're having hard conversations with people right away. Like there's no honeymoon phase of, I hear so great. There is a honeymoon phase, but it's got this extra layer of, and I'm not hopelessly and solely committed to this relationship. I'm pursuing other relationships
or
as
the
well.
person you're dating does feel that way and you don't feel that way, or you prevent yourself from feeling that way, and now you have conflict.
Yes. But it was still a really cool thing to go through because I was experiencing lots of people have these fantastic first 6 months and mine were a little bit harder, and then they were having, tougher back ends. So that was interesting, and I saw some of the difficulty. The difficulty of dating multiple people is one, if it's open on both ends, most people get very jealous. And I put a tremendous amount of effort into undoing that in myself, a lot of time, money, effort, and made little to no progress. I've made more progress in everything in my life than I did in being less jealous in those sorts of situations. And so that was tough. And then there is also, even if and then I had relationships where I was, look, here's the deal. I get super jealous. I don't want to do this. This is going to be an asymmetrical relationship if you want it, but no pressure. But this is all that I'm available for.
One side will be open and not the other.
So I'm going to be dating other people. You can see other people as well. But if you wanted to have a more committed relationship with me, I'm open to that. But that would mean that you wouldn't see other people and I would. And those were, a lot of people don't like hearing that, but it was very adult conversations where I stated what was available from me. And there was also you can opt in, out in at any point in time. There's no handcuffs. And that worked for certain people who were actually, I have zero interest in dating other people.
And
it's not
these
hard
relationships,
for me.
You talk about they're hard in the short term. I had a 3-year open relationship that was open on both sides. I had a 2-year one that was casual, but it was open on just my side. It isn't to say you can't have a longer term relationship that's not monogamous. And there are marriages, I'm sure, and families that have been together for decades and decades who are not monogamous. So it's
people are built. Also, people are built differently in terms of what hits their jealousy button. Some people, this is one of the big findings, is that jealousy seems to be kind of like sexual orientation, and that some people are just not having a problem. Some people really do, and it doesn't move much in my experience. So then had those experiences. And then even if my jealousy isn't being triggered, what happened in the most recent cases, super fine. The woman I was dating, really cool with it for probably the first 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. And then less okay, which was brilliant strategy on her part. Which was, because I was like, holy crap, this is working very well. And then it became a little less okay, then a little less okay, a little less okay. And now I'm in a relationship with someone I love and care about, but the behavior that we had both agreed would be acceptable is now very upsetting to her. So I have got a couple of options at this point. I could break up, start fresh, start new. I could stop doing this, or we could just have conflict, which is what I opted to do for a while. So we just had conflict, and it was honest, forthcoming, clear, which I think was very healthy, but ultimately draining and difficult. And then it came to a point, okay, does this end? Does this continue? We ended it, and then we continued it, which is how I often do things. And so I'm not ideologically really married to one way or the other at this point. I don't think one is better. I do have a much richer understanding of the pros and cons and the difficulties that come with either. So I haven't changed my stance on it, actually. I have selected for certain difficulties and opted out of other difficulties is what I would say that I've done. But could that change at another point in my life? 100%. I could just be like, this difficulty I can take, this difficulty I can't take. But I haven't had any like revolutions necessarily on the value of commitment or anything like that.
Yep. Yeah, for me, I similarly get jealous. I don't like when someone that I'm dating and care about is hooking up with other people. So I stopped after my 3-year where we were both open. I was like, okay, I'm not going to really do that again. I'll have casual relationships, or I'll have relationships where that person in a part of me being more committed to them emotionally and romantically and us being boyfriend girlfriend will be that they will stop seeing other people. What I never found in the time that I was just hanging out, being casual, being single, or doing those types of relationships was someone who was really hyped about the idea of a one-sided open relationship. So part of the decision for me to go monogamous,
though we should say that they are out there.
Like, sure. I'm just saying I never found anyone.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they don't exist. I just never was with someone who's like, I love when you go out and fuck other people. That gets me going. I wish you would do it more.
There's somebody at the gym who I overheard talking about their boyfriend. Like, do you know what a cuckold is? He like wants me to. And they were like talking about it. I think it's actually more common if like search terminology on porn websites is anything to trust, that it's actually more common in men that they want their significant other to do it than it is with women. But I don't know if that's 100%.
I'm sure it's out there. I never encountered it. No one I was dating was like, you know what I wish you would do more of? Sleeping with other women. I don't even want to be there. I just want to know you're doing it.
Yeah.
That never happened. That can happen, but I never ran into that. And so I met someone I really liked. Pheromones and chemistry were strong. And I was just like, I see where this will go if we do open. I feel like I have enough experience to know we'll be together, we'll fight. It'll be a friction. It'll inevitably break it up. And I said, I don't want to go that route this time. And it wasn't like I didn't write out a list. I just wanted to date this person. And I didn't think it was going to work openly based on my experience in the past. So figured I would try monogamy. And if it made me miserable, then I would stop.
Mm-hmm. What is there a underlying question other than what is our experience with it that I forgot?
No, I think so. This person wanted to they were struggling to make sense of it for their own life. So I think they just wanted to hear.
Try different stuff is what I would suggest. If you're like monogamy's tough and I like the idea of open, go try open. If you say I've tried open and it's hard, I like sleeping with other people, but I don't like when my partner does, try a one-sided open relationship. Like do whatever. You want to try it. You want to try dating you and if you want to do 2 guys and 1 girl in a
throuple,
a throuple, like a trinogamous, whatever it would be. Do that. Like, I think just if you're unclear on what's best for you, go try what calls to you.
Yeah.
For years and experiment a lot.
And talk about it beforehand, talk about it often so that people can be adults and decide what kind of relationships they want to have.
Yeah. That was one thing actually that people were always surprised by when I would tell them this, but I would pre-kiss always get out there what I was hoping for. So when I was doing open before kissing someone, I'd say, what is it you're looking for? They'd say what they're looking for. What about you? So I don't date anyone exclusively. So when I'm looking for something that's open, or if not, then, probably just casual until I do find someone that's open. And I thought before having those conversations that would obviously make women run for the hills. And when I told people that, they're like, oh yeah, and then obviously women run for the hills. And that was not the case. Just a lot of times you get it out there before expectations are set, before you've kissed, before you've slept together, and the person, you just kind of see them re-bucket you in their head.
As what is a potential with this person? And it's like, do I want what is available with them?
Some people went, that's not for me, and I don't think we should have a second date. Some people said, that's not for me long-term, but we should just sleep together until I find someone else. I'm going to keep going on dating apps looking for a boyfriend. And some people said, that's for me. Or they said, that's not for me. And then we hook up casually for 3 months. They say, I think that is for me. I want to try it because I want to have more of a emotional closeness. It is that honesty. It doesn't have to be the first sentence you say on a date, but it's getting it out there early before they've started to fantasize about what your relationship will be like. Actually incredibly helpful in my experience.
Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.